Hello, welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel, and our 2000 subscriber special with the Triumph 2000. Hello and welcome back to Quarterlight. If you're new to Quarterlight, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube, looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s, and sometimes beyond that as well. So if you're interested in cars, car brochures, looking back at cars gone by, please consider subscribing. It is completely free. Talking of subscribing, this is the special subscriber special, I guess we could call it, for gaining 2,000 subscribers. So this is really very much a thank you to every single one of you who've added to that number. It means a lot, and it shows how the channel is progressing. So when we got to 1,000 subscribers, we did a brochure for the Morris Minor 1000, and that took 17 months from the date we did our first video to that 1,000 subscribers special for the Minor. So that takes us to our current time, 2,000 subscribers we've now reached, which took 9 months. So we can see that the channel is growing and the number of subscribers is speeding up as we go along. I'm sure many channels are much faster than us, but you know, this is car brochures after all. Not everyone can see the joy in car brochures and the facts that they bring. So I really appreciate everyone who subscribed, because certainly when I started the channel I thought it would have been just me talking. Who's going to subscribe to this? So I thank you for everyone who has. Anyway, it's a special edition, and it's an addition to thank you, but we're going to do our usual thing. We're going to look at a brochure. I thought this was a very apt one, the Triumph 2000. So let's have a look at that one now. So here is today's brochure. Yeah, it's for the Mk1 Triumph 2000. Pick this one. We've looked at the Triumph 2000 before, but we've never looked at the Mk1, so I thought this was an apt one to choose. So the Mk1 was presented to the public at the London Motor Show in October 1963. Volume sales began in 64. In fact, it ran from 63 to 69 until the Mark II came along. Now, I must confess, I prefer the design of the Mark II, even though I really loved the front end of the Mark I as well. I always preferred the Mark II for whatever reason. That's purely a personal thing, but just in the comments if you preferred this or the model that came after the Mark II. Well, like I say, I always thought it was a very stylish front end on the Mark II. They did a great job of updating that, I thought. But anyway, this is an unusual brochure actually. You can see an unusual scene. Observant among you will notice this is actually a left-hand drive Triumph 2000, because this brochure is actually a North American brochure, which is interesting, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. I do believe this was actually a Canadian brochure, but it doesn't show that anywhere, so maybe the American and the Canadian brochure was exactly the same at this time. Now, for me personally, I can always tell this is a North American brochure for one reason. You could blindfold me and I could still tell you this is a North American brochure because of the paper quality. Now, the paper quality always seems really quite poor compared to the good quality of the UK and the European brochures. Completely different on the North American brochures for whatever reason, but the quality of the paper itself seems very thin. The brochure itself always seems very thin and quite flimsy, and I'm amazed they even survive these brochures. But I'm not putting these brochures down at all, but what I'm basically saying is, once you get used to and you start holding lots of brochures, you can always tell the North American ones straight away. Anyway, lovely scene, isn't it? With the horse in the background and all this dust flying around. Let's open the brochure up and see what's inside. So I'll just open the brochure up. The brochure opens unusually because at first it opens quite normally and we're presented with a black and white image, and then it kind of like opens to show more on the next. But we'll start here. We'll have a look at some of this text, this black and white image, then we'll open the brochure up properly and have a look inside at the colour shots. So first of all, it starts talking about performance. Really, it throws that straight at you. It's almost like it's telling you this is a performance car. I guess maybe from the North American buyers, Triumph was more seen as being like small sports cars, I guess, and then here is this sort of family car, although family car, but certainly on a smaller scale by North American standards. So it's throwing it as a bit of a performance car. Although remember, this is just the Triumph 2000. The 2.5 Pi, which was also available later on, and the Mark 1 was more of the performance model, but still they're shouting at this as being the performance model, and straight away it seems pretty quick, doesn't it? Acceleration 0 to 50 in 9.4 seconds, top speed of 95 miles per hour. Not bad for the 60s. I do believe this brochure is from sometime in the 60s, but I'm not sure of the actual date. There isn't actually a proper date on here, but certainly performance figures sound pretty good. Yes, they're using 0 to 50, but that was quite common for the time. Now it says here, body, Italian designed, 4-door, 5-passenger, front reclining bucket seats and rear bench type. Roll up windows, safety glass windshield, 13 cubic foot lockable trunk, available in 7 colours. So when it's talking about Italian designed, of course, they're saying, you know, this has been styled by Giovanni Michelotti. So that's why it's saying Italian design there. So I don't know if that would have been confusing to the North American audience or not, I'm not sure. Upholstery, completely washable vinyl, 2-way stretch, Ambler interior, available in 4 colours. And it starts telling you about this 2-litre engine. So 90 bhp at 5,000 rpm, maximum torque 1,405 pounds at 2,900 rpm, 6-cylinder, of course, it'd be a straight 6, 1998cc, transmission, all synchromesh 4-speed floor shift, brakes 4-wheel hydraulic, disc front, drums rear, suspension 4-wheel independent with coil springs, telescopic shock absorbers at front, semi-trailing arm type with coil springs controlled by piston type shock absorbers at rear. Only needs lubrication every 6,000 miles. It talks about the dimensions then, but let's move down to the standard equipment. So you got rack and pinion steering, twin sun visors, pile carpet, electric windscreen wipers, makeup mirror in large glove compartments. Controls include warning lights for fuel and oil pressure, choke, main beam and ignition, built-in twin backup lights, recessed twin headlights, heater defroster with individual heater ducts in front and rear, piano key controls, self-cancelling direction signals, door locks designed to be child-proof, cigar lighter, windshield washers, rear window demisting ducts, safety belt and safety harness at attachment points. So optional equipment, we can have automatic transmission, overdrive, radio, white wall tyres, air conditioning, safety harness and safety belts. Main image, black and white unusually, although it kind of isn't black and white, but anyway, let's talk about the car itself first. Loads of chrome on there, love the chrome, and this very unusual bar here, that's quite unusual. Triumph across the side there, but if you look inside the front windscreen, it looks like they have added a bit of colour or kept a bit of colour on those seats. Look a little bit red, don't they? And then if we swing over, this random piece here isn't in black and white, very randomly. Anyway, let's go to the colour images, and there are many little images when you open it up like this, but let's go through them in some kind of order. First image is a bit of a beach scene. Often see beach scenes, don't you, in car brochures? I always dread to think who the first owner of those cars were. First getting blasted full of salt before you buy a brand new car, but nevertheless, here it is. It's a rather nice scene. It says, introducing the family man's Triumph, the 4-door 5-passenger Triumph 2000, at a time where I would say a woman couldn't possibly be driving this car. How times have changed, thankfully. Anyway, next image. It tells us, amongst the many safety features you'll discover in the Triumph 2000, all-round vision, steel unit body, all seats within the wheelbase. And then this rather nice image of the ashtray features an automatic pop-up guard, and thanks to the roomy, comfortable interior, you arrive at your destination relaxed and ready for fun. Obviously you're going to be dashing out like this. A lovely image with the dog, isn't it? Again at the beach. Take a break from the family fun. The reclining front seats become instant chaise lounge. Yeah, okay. Well, you might be a bit hot in there, but maybe you're better sitting out of the car, but never mind. Bit of an evening's shot, and the Triumph 2000 is not only a luxurious sedan, it handles like a sports car, thanks to such sports car features as rack and pinion steering, 4 forward synchromesh gears, 4-wheel independent suspension. And then a similar image with the classic beauty of the 2000 should remind you of a Triumph sports car. All Triumphs are styled by Michelotti, world famous Italian automotive designer. Okay, there we go, it does explain that Michelotti is the styler for this car. So, standard features: recessed dual headlights, built-in backup lights and side view signal lights. Unusual little side view signal lights in the centre there, aren't there? But I really like 60s cars for this, because I always like the little bits of touches and elegance that the 60s cars really had, and of course that's the main reason why 60s are featured on this channel. But really overall a very beautiful design car with all these little touches in there, and a car quite ahead of its time. Even little things like built-in backup lights are quite ahead of their time, really. Tiny image again going on about performance. We designed the 6-cylinder engine for maximum performance and economy. 0 to 50 in 9.4 seconds. Automatic transmission and overdrive are optional. We added these 2 features for your safety and driving peace of mind. Door locks designed to be child-proof and power-assisted disc brakes. And then we get this image of what we can get in the boot area, or trunk as we should say, as we're in North America here. The trunk is fully carpeted. More importantly, it can swallow 6 pieces of luggage and a bag of golf clubs. It goes on to tell us in the short time the Triumph 2000 has been in America, it has won an eye-opening number of rallies. And then we've got this smiley little chap here saying, just because you have children doesn't mean you've outgrown a sports car, you've merely grown into the Triumph 2000. So again, think about the Triumph name more in North America as being a sporty nameplate. They're kind of like trying to grow on that, I guess. And then this extra little bit of a flap, there's something called 27 special design features. We'll go through them, although it's kind of hard to move the camera from there to the little image showing where they are, but we'll just go through the list, I think. Those features are dual headlights, a tapered hood, 6-cylinder engine, rack and pinion steering, diaphragm spring clutch, extra deep windshield, low roof line, no loss radiator, all door locks designed to be child-proof, a walnut dash, warning lights, piano key switches, heater, reclining seats, separate front seats, rear comfort, walnut door sills, tread plates, soft upholstery, extra deep rear window, safety belt, power assisted disc brakes, 4-wheel independent suspension, enormous trunk, side view signal lights, twin backup lights and overdrive auto transmission optional. And here we've got at the bottom, just to show it's a North American or US brochure, it says certain equipment shown on cars is optional extra cost. The company reserves the right to alter specifications at any time without notice. And it says the standard Triumph Motor Company Inc. 111 Galway Place, Teaneck, is that Teaneck? NJ, and then printed in US of A. And then if you look on the very back page, we have one final image of the family by the beach having a great time, maybe getting that dog back into the car. Pretty big family, mum, dad, 3 children and the dog to get in there. I would imagine it's a little bit on the tight side, but there we go. They're all going to squeeze there and make their way back home. So there we go, the Triumph 2000. Do you remember these lovely Mark 1s or indeed the Mark 2s? I remember my friend had a Mark II and coincidentally we actually went to the seaside in it. I think that's the only time I've ever been in a Mark II Triumph 2000. It was quite pleasant, although he wasn't allowed to talk. That possibly could have distracted his dad, so that was a bit weird. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today, and of course if you've not done already, as you could join that amazing 2,000 subscribers we have, you could look into subscribing. It's completely free. You just click the button and you've subscribed. It doesn't cost you anything, and you can find the channels, find the episodes very easily. We're getting close to 500 episodes now of Quarterlight, and of course it helps us as a channel grow and ultimately give you better content. But we'll end by having a look at the wonderful Triumph 2000 and the family blasting off wherever that is in America, and we'll put a couple of videos up there. One we'll put there maybe for that Morris 1000 video, so you can look at when we were celebrating 1000 subscribers, and a random video up there as well. But thank you so much for watching today, and of course once again thank you to every 2,000 of you who have subscribed. Really is appreciated. Let's see when we can get our next target, 3,000 subscribers. How long will that take? Can we do that in less than 9 months? Thank you so much. Take care and goodbye.